Today, we're going to be doing an entire headlight housing replacement on this 2020 Chevy Blazer. With the headlights being separate and down here in the front fascia, there's really no way to do the replacement from inside the engine bay. So I'm going to try and go in through the wheel well lining, pull this back and see if I can get to through there. I've got the wheels turned at a full lock to give me as much room as possible. But if that doesn't work, we may have to remove the entire front fascia just to get a headlight replaced on these Blazers. There are multiple T15 screws on the outside of this wheel well liner. So we're going to take those out so we can pull it back and see what we can get to going in from this direction. So looking in through here, you'll see that there is a brace that mounts from the headlight to the body of the car. So I'm going to take that brace off and we may actually be able to get this headlight out without having to remove the entire front fascia. There are two different bolt sizes. You'll need a 7mm for the bolts that are going to the headlight itself and a 10mm for the bolts that are going to the car. Before I finish removing these bolts, I am going to go ahead and unhook the wiring harness. That one right up there with the red tab. Pull back on the red tab, should be able to press down on the side of it and release the harness. I will say this is one of those designs that you feel like Chevy did to spite anybody that likes working on their vehicles themselves. I just finished removing the 7mm bolts, and after further investigation we are going to have to remove the entire front fascia because there's no way to get the headlight housing around the body of the car itself. The part of the frame that comes down in front is in the way, so we're going to have to take the front fascia off, and that's going to make this video a little more complicated. To take the front fascia off, we're going to remove these pop clips all the way around this piece right here where the air flows in. We're going to take this off. There are torque screws under it that go across that we're going to have to take out. We're going to have to pop this trim piece off of the side over here because there are some screws we got to get out right there. And then we got to do all of the torque screws along the bottom, and then use trim tools to pop the clips that hold the front fascia to the body of the car. They make a tool for removing these pop tabs, but a flat head screwdriver also works, and that's what I'm using. You just want to pop loose the top of the tab and then pry up the bottom of it to pop it out. And then we should be able to remove this. Now we've got T15 Torx bolts that we got to take out, 6 of them that go across the top of the fascia. To get these trim pieces off, I'm using a curved trim removal tool. To get started, I'm having to make a little space down here at the bottom by pushing against the back of it. And then I've got to find where the clip is to get the open part of the trim tool around the clip so that I can pry it straight out without breaking it. And then I'm sliding it up to the next one and doing the same thing. And there should be 3 clips that get removed on each side. And then I'm just going to twist and release the bulb for the side marker to make sure that this is not connected to the front face. It looks like I'm gonna have to pull a 4th clip out because there's a screw right here that I've got to get out. I don't know if I've got enough flex in this to get to it. I don't want to bend it or put any creases in it. So I'm gonna pop a 4th clip on each side so I have plenty of room to get to this Torx screw right here. We have the front fascia off the car. We unhooked the wiring harnesses to both lights, but there is one down here that we did not unhook because we're only replacing the driver's side headlight. So we didn't need to unhook that one, and that type of connector is not on the driver's side for some reason. The most difficult part was these 2 clips here on the fascia. These were the most difficult to get to pop loose, and we were trying to be really careful because obviously you don't want to break anything. They clip in up here, and we just had to wiggle and yank until they finally pop loose, but it's a little nerve-wracking when you're having to do that. But now we can get to the headlight. I should be able to take these mounting bolts out around it and get the headlight out so we can put the new one in. There are 4 7mm bolts holding the main headlight housing to the front fascia. I'm just going to use a 7mm socket to get these out, so we should be able to pull the headlight housing straight back and then get ready to put the new housing in. Before we put the new headlight in, we do need to move this box over to the new headlight. It looks like this is a voltage control box, probably to make sure that there's not too much power going to the lights in the housing. There's 3 Torx screws, so we should just be able to take this out, unplug the harness, hook it up to this plug, feed the wires back in here, and then bolt it in. The new headlight does not come with the bulbs. That was probably in the description. I just forgot because it's been a while since we actually ordered these. So took the housing off. It's just a little bit of a turn and they pop off. And we do that on both sides. So we're going to move this bulb over, and then this cable is going to come with it because both of the cables plug into the control box. My sister's 2020 Chevy Blazer is now back together, and it has a brand new driver's side headlight. Tested everything, lights work, blinkers work, all's good. Obviously, this is quite the process. It's not a very good DIY design by Chevy, but they probably just want you to bring the car to them anyway, so that's probably one of the reasons why they did it. But we got it done, And now you've seen what you got to do to replace the headlight on this generation Blazer. If this video was helpful, give it a good old thumbs up. But for now, this is Southpaw Garage signing out.